Welcome to What in the Wedding, a wedding planning podcast where we help you expect the expected.
That's right. We said expect the expected because while you probably don't attend a lot of weddings,
We do.
so sit back, relax, and listen while we chat all things weddings. Enjoy! Is
We're
my
back
voice
for
ever going to come
another
back?
episode. Do what? Who's coming back? What's happening?
My voice. It's
Oh,
not there.
oh.
Ribbit, ribbit. Okay, here we go.
Okay, no, we're here. So this is technically season 3. Did you know that?
What?
Yeah,
I feel
this
like
is
it's because
season
we
3.
took a
It's
little.
October.
This is wild. Like, I can't. My favorite word's coming out.
What?
That doesn't make sense. I feel like we've been doing this not that long.
And we always decide to start the new stuff at the busiest time of our wedding seasons. Love that.
We're
Love
like,
that for
let's
us.
add video and make sure our backdrops look good in October, the busiest month in weddings. Let's do it.
Yes. Yes. Let's do it. So, we titled this podcast A Little of This and a Little of That because it is
A little
wedding
bit of this.
season. Even though I had a break, I am knee deep in wedding season. The busiest time of 2025 for me. So I have a news story, and that's that Podcastle is dead to me.
Podcastle is finito, finished.
Done.
We're done.
If anyone
Donezo.
listened to our last episode, and every 10 minutes they inserted, and this was recorded with Podcastle, dead to me. There's the last shout out to them. Because what y'all don't know, why I'm so mad. So mad. And I
Angry.
apologize that you all had to listen to that before I caught on to what it was doing. We've been using a company that we host our podcast through for over 2 years now. They offer
2 years.
Podcastle, quote unquote, free, which is why we went with them. And what Podcastle has done over the years, despite us being in with this other company who offers them for free, they continually add reasons why we need to pay. And we don't care about paying because we know, but the whole point that we chose this company was because Podcastle was quote unquote free. And now they have gotten to the point that we can't even use them at all without paying. So because Ashley and Hannah are sassy this time of year, we went with a whole other company. So welcome to Riverside. Are we allowed to shout them out?
Riverside, we love you. Shout out Riverside.
We do.
This podcast is sponsored by Riverside. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm going to tag
we're never
them
going to be
because
those
we
people.
appreciate them. So that is just a good lesson in business and marketing, is that we were willing to pay for it the honest way. I'm not going to be stiff-armed and manhandled into paying for something that was supposed to be free.
We'll just pay somebody else.
Correct.
And that's
how
it
trying
goes.
to trick me.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
You're
done
not
being
tricking
sassy.
me.
So, you know what? Now we have to find a new womp sound.
We do. I wonder what it's going to be. Sorry, I'm drinking coffee, y'all.
This is part of the rebrand because guess what? On our poll that I posted yesterday, only 2 people wanted us to change it all together, and like the whole other rest of the people said mix it up, keep some, change some.
Ooh.
So now we have to decide what we're keeping, what we're changing. So I guess our womp sound's gonna have to change. TBD on that.
Yeah. TBD on the womp sound.
I know, but we do have.
Do you want me to fill in for the womp sound today?
Sure. Are you ready? Wedding wins and womps.
Wicked, wicked, womp, womp, cheer. This is where we're at.
We shouldn't be allowed to do this. Who's putting this on the internet? I swear.
Nobody. And whoever's watching it.
Oh, stop.
Y'all, I'm sorry. This hair is brought to you by a shower 24 hours ago. A little shampoo. Wedding season brought to you.
Oh, no. Okay, so
I'm sorry.
Our wedding womp that became a win today is brought to you from a couple weeks ago, and Ashley and I were together and we were both involved. So would you like to tell them your version of the story? What the text you received from me?
What was so funny, because you are naturally with the couple getting pictures, which people don't realize. that coordinators, they think hand holding all the time. That's not what's happening. Coordinators are literally making sure your guests are arriving to the ceremony on time, making sure your signage isn't falling because of the wind if it's an outdoor ceremony, or if it's an indoor ceremony, making sure programs are there. People are getting bubbles and ribbons and anything if you're doing an exit. That we are doing all of the things. Not only are we doing all of that, we are handling moms, dads, family who are confused, which is great because that's why we're there. We're there to help and make sure everyone knows what's happening when it's happening because they're like, well, where's the couple? They just start to get really nervous around this time. So I'm dealing with all of the things. Venues calling me, and I look down at my phone and I see Hannah texts me, and it just says in bold lettering, and I'd have to pull it up to see exactly what you said, but it was
I'm gonna
just like
put a screenshot because we can do
of
that
what it
now.
was.
I'm gonna put like a picture of
Ooh,
it. I just
fancy.
sent Ashley a picture and it said SOS.
And I
That's
literally
it.
just wrote, OMG. Like, I
And
was
what
just
was the
like,
picture?
makeup all down the side of our bride's dress, like
All down the
all
side of
the
her
way to down,
dress.
all down it. So the reason it was there is because there was a makeup removal for that day on her back, and it just so happened when she put
Tattoo
on the dress,
removal.
nobody. Yeah, tattoo removal. I didn't know if I
Yeah.
should say that. Shout out, girl. I would do the same thing just because it was like,
Are
I'm
we
the
not
same
allowed to
way.
say
Like,
that?
I
Do
don't
people
know. Are
not know
we?
about it?
I
We
don't
better
know.
ask.
Do they? We'll ask. We'll remove this. Okay.
But yeah,
Anyways,
it was a
so it was,
tattoo that was covered in makeup so well, by the way. Shout out
yes.
to the makeup people. We will tag them.
Shout
That
out.
I did not know, nor did I notice that there was a whole lot of makeup on her back to cover up a tattoo. That's how well it was done.
Yeah, it was done very well. So naturally, when you sent me that picture, I already knew. Like, I already had a vision of this when I saw them putting the makeup on her back. I was like, "Ooh, this
Uh,
is gonna be tricky," just because it was a hotter day, and I was like, "Oh
yeah,
no." So
yeah,
I already have like 3 Tide pens, like 15 wipes of Shout. Like, I have everything just for those instances. So I was
yeah,
prepared, but
yeah.
she was so calm about it. She was like, "Oh, it's
I was
fine.
not.
Everything's good."
I
I
was
know. And
not.
Hannah was having a meltdown, and the bride, like, that's what my brides and I get each other. They just know I'm going to take care of it. And they're like, "We're good." But Hannah's worried because she has photos. Like, this is going to show
Hmm.
up in photos. Like,
Yeah,
this isn't
yeah,
something I can run over and take care of right away.
yeah,
They were getting ready to come back. What was that, like 10
yeah.
minutes? You were getting ready to
Well,
leave. So
so
you
when
had
I
like 10
sent you
minutes.
so when I actually sent the photo, and I don't know at what point it went through because the signal is just and I sent it so fast and then dropped my phone and carried on. So when I say meltdown, I was having internal meltdown. I was having
Yeah,
when I
not
send Ashley this text,
external.
she's going to know that I'm melting, but I'm very calm on the surface because no one told me about that tattoo. Somehow I missed that. And somehow I just didn't know. It was done so well. And I had been with her all morning. I had seen her back multiple times. I watched
Oh,
them put
wow.
her in this dress and zip her up, and I took the pictures and I never noticed.
That's why I was
The
so confused because we were literally watching her get into her
Yeah.
dress. So I'm like, I don't know when this went down.
So we took him over. You dropped off her and I dropped off him. First look happened. And the groom
Yes.
looks down. So we're done with the first look. And I always tell people, you turn to me and you let me know when you're done. And they turned to me and they let me know that they were done. And the groom looks at her and goes, "There's makeup on your dress." There's
Oh,
makeup on
no.
dresses all the time. I didn't think anything about it. Like sometimes, someone hugs. Grooms always have makeup on their shoulders from women giving them a hug. Makeup on
They
dresses is
do.
not a big deal. So I was like, "It's
No.
fine." And he was like, "But look." And when I circled to the side where the makeup was,
You
and
were
I'm
like,
going to put a picture in here, it was
yeah,
like all down her side. It was not a
all the
spot.
way
It
down.
was all
No
down her
spot.
side. And so I still do not know about that tattoo.
Hmm.
So I'm like, how did this happen? Like, I'm thinking in my how did this happen? And she's like, well, it has to be because of the makeup on my back because I have a tattoo covered up. And I'm immediately like, his hand went around her waist, touched her back, and then when he drug his hand back, he rubbed it down the side. Which in the moment, I'm not blaming
Yes.
anyone. I'm like, oh, okay, it's no problem. We'll figure it
Right.
out. We've got ways to handle this, but let me send Ashley. text real quick.
so she can get her laundry
And
bag
I know what
out.
it
Yeah,
said
for
now.
sure.
It said, which I've already shown it multiple times now. It said, "I don't need you to come, but be prepared,
Yes.
SOS."
SOS. Because I
Because I
was, like,
didn't
getting ready to
want you
get in the
to
car.
leave.
Yes.
Because, like, yeah, like you said, I still had pictures to take. We had not taken one formal
Mhm.
photo yet. We still had a ceremony to get through. We've got makeup. And it wasn't like a lace dress, which in hindsight, I'm glad it wasn't, or we would have never gotten
Oh,
it out.
thank goodness. Oh, we would have
It was
never
just
gotten it
like
out.
a solid silk satin material. I don't know how you all got it out, but I just kept positioning her. Luckily, it was on the side that if I put them belly button together, his boutonniere was showing. And then we didn't see it on that side, and then when I flipped them, she had a big, beautiful bouquet, so I just had her hold it up slightly higher, and it covered up that area, and
Yeah, I
there
was
were
gonna say I
only a
didn't see
few
anything.
photos that you could actually see it in, and that's where Photoshop came in, and I was able to do that. So again, when you're hiring photographers and they you assume that they know how to use Photoshop, make sure you ask, because so many
I was
photographers do
gonna
not know how to use Photoshop to do that kind of work.
right, which I know we've touched on this before, but we have, like, a lot of new listeners and everybody, like, tuning in now. This is, like, if I can tell you anything, because 'cause I'm starting to plan a lot more, so I'm at the beginning of the process and helping my couples find
Mhm.
vendors. This is a big question if you don't have a coordinator or a planner, because I can't tell you how many photographers where I'm like, "Oh, you can Photoshop that out, right?" And they were like, "Oh, no, no, I don't Photoshop." And I'm
Yeah, they
like,
don't know how to use it.
and then the couple comes to me and they're like, "Oh, he can Photoshop that out, right? Or she can Photoshop that out, right?" And I'm like,
No.
I am not gonna get in contractually involved in this. I'm not gonna say a word, and I'm just gonna I just literally leave it very simple. I say, "You're gonna have to ask your photographer about that on your own." I'm just contractually, I don't have no idea what they can do. Unless I know the photographer. Like, if I was with you, I'd be like, "Oh, yeah, Hannah will be able to get
Mhm.
that out to a degree." I don't ever say
Right,
every photo
right.
you can do. I just say there's some that you can do, but I'm like, if they're like, hands down, your photos are what your photos are gonna be if your photographer cannot Photoshop. And
And
that's
there's really
scary.
it is. 10 years ago, I'd be like, "Okay," 'cause see, I actually learned Photoshop accidentally. When I was a newbie photographer, I didn't know that the program we usually use, Lightroom, even existed. You always hear Photoshop. So I just downloaded Photoshop and started watching videos, and I was hand editing individual photos like a
Oh,
dummy
no.
because I didn't know
Like
any
a
better.
dummy.
So I
Yeah, but that's when you
actually
start the
learned.
business. Yes,
Yeah,
when you
and
start
I
the business,
learned
we do
things
a
in
bunch of
reverse. I
things.
learned the hard way to edit first, which actually
Mhm.
benefited me because now I am an outsourced Photoshop editor for other photographers. But in this day and age, 10 years now, with AI and third party, there is no excuse why a photographer cannot Photoshop your photo. They can use AI. It's as simple as circling it and telling Photoshop's generative AI to do whatever you want it to do. And most of the time, it does it correctly. Or there's
It just takes
companies
more
that you can
work.
hire. Yeah, it takes more work
Mhm.
and it takes more money sometimes.
Yes.
So, yeah.
That is
Yeah.
such a good question to ask. I am definitely seeing in, my couples that are coming up in the future, like, I know we talked about decision fatigue before, but also, like, question
Yeah.
fatigue. Like, I just don't even know
Yes.
what to ask anymore.
Mhm.
I feel like also, and I'm honestly, I'm kind of loving it because I have not changed my pricing since before COVID, and everyone upped their pricings during
Mhm.
COVID and after COVID, and now
Mhm.
we're seeing where weddings are going back to normal and
Yep.
bookings are what they used to be. We just don't remember because we were living through COVID,
Mhm.
and now
Right.
all these vendors are like, "I'm throwing sales out," and I'm like, "Well, honestly, it's just because you rose your prices, and now you're just
Right.
having to go back down to what is normal." Um,
Mhm.
I feel like if you don't have overhead, you not and this is terrible for me to say, but I'm gonna say it. You shouldn't be raising your prices. If you don't have overhead and you don't have something to stock and keep it in purchase that's because of due to inflation, it's cost you more money now, you should not be raising your prices. That's it. I'm like, there are too many vendors in this world that
Mhm.
you will come and take your business. I'm one of those people, like, I love sharing the business and sharing, like, I
Yep.
constantly am like, if I'm not available, I give, out weddings, I
Yep.
recommend people. I'm all about, like, sharing this community of wedding and the wedding world. But what I don't appreciate is when I'll, like, inquire with certain vendors and they're like, "Oh, it's this price." And I'm like, "Oh, hey, okay, well, tell me a little bit about what's included." But then I'll see in a couple weeks they run a sale or a
Yep.
promotion, and I'm
Yep.
like, "Oh, I don't love that." You just need to stick to your pricing, and that's
Yep.
it, and what is best for your business. Like, I'll never tell you what to charge, but I don't love when I'm seeing this wishy-washy flip-flop. It has to look strange to the client. It has
Yeah.
to look like, "What is this
Well,
person doing?"
I know that
Persons.
I know it is affecting the way that people are making decisions and hiring vendors because recently I had a couple who said to me, and I can only assume it's because they met with other vendors who were doing exactly what you said. And they said, before we book, if we pay now and then you run a discount for a cheaper price for the same package next week, will you honor the new
Mhm.
price? That was such an odd question to me at first, but then when I got to think about it, it's exactly what you're talking about. They're seeing other vendors who will charge full price this week, but then next week they'll do like a 50% off deal. So they wanted to know if I did that, if
Mhm.
I would honor next week the new price, but I don't run discounts. The only quote unquote discount that I do is a preferred vendor discount. So like if they book a DJ or they book you in
Mhm.
addition to me off my preferred vendor list and I have like a coupon voucher that they can send me, they get $100 off their package or they get a 16 by 20 canvas for their wall. That's it. That's the only
Right.
discount. Or, like, at a bridal show, I might be, like, throw in, like, a print package or something, like but it's, like, a special
Right.
occasion kinda thing. I don't run discounts and I don't run sales because I have a group of sisters that I've done all their weddings now, and one booked me back in, like, 2016, 17, and this one's getting married next year, and they have all asked me, they're like, "Can you
Ah!
honor the old
Oof.
prices?" And I'm like, "No, I cannot. Your fur baby is
My
having
fur
a
baby, he's
moment."
here. He is. He thinks he is, the attack dog, you know what I mean? Like, but if anybody came up with, like, a piece of bacon, he would be like, "You can have whatever
Yum.
you need. Come on in. Come on in. Everything is for free. Take
Bring
it."
the snacks. It's amazing.
Bring him
No,
a
but
snack, you'll be able to get in my house.
I've gotten myself into a situation where they're like, "Will you honor the old prices?" And it wasn't a sale price, it was the fact that one sister got me at a new price, and now 10 years later, I've grown and prices have increased, but like you said, I'm not increasing my prices anymore. I'm not. I
No,
refuse. I'm
I'm
so
hate
mad
to be
about
this
this
way and call
economy.
it out because every vendor can do whatever they wanna do, but I just
Yeah.
don't I look at it as a consumer, and I look at it because 'cause I'm really as I start to plan more and more, I'm starting to feel for my client.
Mhm.
I'll give you a prime
Yeah.
example. So, this is good to hear as far as, like, as you if a lot of people are going for planners now and they starting to meet with planners and get budgets. There was a planner and not around our area, but in the surrounding tri-state area. My client met with previous to me, and as soon as they got off the phone, they said, "Well, I'm just gonna be completely bluntly honest with you. It's gonna be 80 to $100,000. That's what we're doing." And I was like, you hear how I changed
What?
my voice? Because I was like, I'm laughing because I'm like, I can only imagine how this call went down for this poor, like, my couple. I'm like,
80 to
my heart, like,
$100,000
hurts
for the whole wedding or the planner?
for the whole wedding. So, for the whole wedding, but they
Oh,
didn't have a
okay, okay.
venue picked out. They didn't have a venue picked out. They didn't have vendors picked out. They had nothing picked out. So, I just wanted to be like, why are you doing that? You're making a bad name for all planners. I can tell you right now for a
Oh, I
fact,
got a lot
not
to
every
say.
wedding is 80 to $100,000. I'm like, my wedding, granted, I'm crazy and flipped a whole house, and made it into a venue, which is not, I do not recommend. So I did that under like $20,000. You can do
Mm, yeah.
things with a planner
Mhm.
to save you money and do a cost effective wedding. So I met with my couple and she was like, "Well, this is more like my budget." And I was like, "It's definitely attainable. Like it is attainable. There are things you have to cut back on, but it is
Yeah,
attainable."
yeah,
She's like, I want to spend half of 80. I don't want to spend 80."
right.
And I'm like, this was enraged me. I was like, "Why would you
Yeah,
scare this poor couple into the wedding planning process?"
mhm,
Because that's and here's another thing that
yeah.
kinda weirded me out too, and some planners do this, it's great, good for them. They just say, "Write me an $80,000 check and I'll take care of the rest." Now some people want that. Some people are like, "Here's all my money.
No, my trust
Tell
issues could
me."
never.
I know Hannah was like, "No, no, no," which I couldn't either. I'm very frugal and I, like, love to have I like to be, but I'm a planner. And some people are like,
Yeah.
not, here's the money. I trust you,
Yeah.
whatever vendors we need. And then, but I don't want to go over this. So once the money's gone, this is it.
Right.
I don't recommend that. I say find a planner who lets you
Yeah.
sign your own contracts, lets you do your own deposits.
Yes.
And like I have a luxury couple that they do all of that. They literally sign the contract and do the deposit. And I have an Excel spreadsheet where all their and a drive with for their account has all their contracts and then every deposit they've ever made.
Mhm.
Now that's like the system that I have with them. Others are, every planning couple is different. So don't be scared of these. Like if you meet with a vendor that like completely just flabbergasts you and you're like, what's happening? Just continue to meet
Red
with other
flag.
vendors.
Red
Red flag.
flag.
We talk about red flags. That's a red flag.
Mhm.
Meet with somebody else. I mean, hands down, it was so funny. We met and she booked me the same day because she was like, because I'm, me, I'm so upfront. I'm like, this is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is
That's
what
what I
it's going
tell
to be.
people all the time. Yep.
I'm like, that's why we get along so well because we just say it exactly
Mhm.
the way that it is. We're like, this is
Yeah.
what it is. And if you like it, you do. If you don't, we'll find something else.
Yeah, I tell people no surprises with me. There is no pressure to book me. You have to love your wedding photographer personally just as much as their photos because if you don't vibe with them, they're with you your whole wedding day. That's just going to
Oh, yeah, the
suck
whole day.
the whole
Yes.
day. So you have to like the person. And I also tell them not a car saleswoman kind of person. When they come to my studio and build albums and do stuff, most of that stuff is already paid for. Agreed upon it
Right.
ahead of time. So there's none of this $1,000 minimum, which I've talked about before. I hate that. I hate photography in-person sales tactics that are like free session, free wedding, but $1,000 minimum on products, meaning you have to spend at least $1,000 before you get anything. I can't.
Right.
No, I would never go to a photographer like that. Most of the stuff they choose, I don't pressure them to choose it. They pay for it ahead of time. So when they're coming to my studio to build their albums, they owe me no money. I actually owe them something because I have their money. I owe them a product. Additionally, if they decide to add things, like I had a couple here a couple weeks ago and she was like, "What's that?" I'm like, "Well, it's a USB." And she's like, "Well, I didn't see that on your paperwork." I said, "No, because like most people don't like get USBs anymore." And she's like, "Well, how much are they?" And me, the great businesswoman that I am, I'm like, "They're very expensive." It's I'm like, "Anna,
You're like,
seriously, you
don't
should
get
see."
it. Don't get
Don't
it.
get
Not
it.
worth it.
And I quoted it for her. She's like, "But I
Don't
still
do it,
I
girl.
want one." And I'm like, "Okay." But like I am not the type. I can't pressure people. I
I'm
can't
the same
pressure
way.
people to give me their
Mhm.
money. It makes me squirm. It's the reason that in my adult life I have only ever purchased 2 cars. And I'm almost 40 because I can't stand it. I cannot stand that you don't know
Right,
the
people trying
bottom
to sell
line,
stuff. Yeah.
all the extra stuff, all the extra pressure. I hate it. And I refuse to be that business person.
Yes.
Period.
Period. They don't say mic drop
All right.
anymore.
So I have questions for you because I've been back to weddings now since
Oh.
my hiatus, and I've noticed
I'm so
things.
glad you're back. Oh my gosh, I feel like
Thank
we're
you.
together a little bit more next year, so I'm very excited about
Are
this.
we? I know a
We
few.
are. I
One,
think we already have a
two,
few.
three, three.
Yeah, I think we have 3 so far, which is more
Two
because
for
we only had
sure.
1 this year, or
I
2.
know.
We had 2.
Two, but they were really far apart, January and September. So it felt like
Yes.
one. Because January just felt like
Wait,
last
we do
year.
have
It did feel
3.
like three.
I'm so excited. Yes.
Do we?
Well, it was so funny because I told you, I'm taking less weddings next year.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then I was like,
Write it down,
"Oh,
people. It's never gonna happen.
I can't help it. I vibe with my family so much that I'm like, "Oh, I really want your wedding because I'm so close with you." Um, I looked and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna take a weekend off in September and I'm gonna take a weekend off in
Mhm.
October." And I was like, "I'm booked every weekend in September. There will be no
Bummer.
weekends off in September."
Bummer.
But no, I love it because I like am so excited for every single one of their weddings. Like I'm so excited, but it's like cracked me up because I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna break my calendar," and I got in there and I
Oh,
was
we
like,
do have
"Who are
3.
you
We do
kidding?"
have 3. They're
We
all
do have
coming to my
3.
brain now. I'm doing their engagement sessions
Yes.
this week, actually. So,
Oh,
one
nice.
tomorrow and
Oh,
one
wait,
next
yes,
week,
she
so
told me.
TBD.
Yep, she told me.
TBD.
TBD.
Okay, so
Sorry.
things I have noticed
Questions.
since I was back. No, it's fine. Oh,
Yes.
speaking of planners,
Speaking.
can't get off the planner subject. Ashley, if we don't do something, I'm gonna become a planner, and then I'll be your direct
Don't do
competitor,
it.
and it's not gonna be good. If one more
I don't know
planner
what to
texts
say. Yeah.
me and asks me for my timeline, I'm gonna scream. Why am I
See, what they
planning
should be doing
timelines with these couples? and then handing
Right.
it over to their
Right.
planner that they paid. Pay me the
Right.
money. Like, I don't mind
So,
doing a timeline. Why am I doing it?
yes. So the only reason I can think of that they're doing this to you is because they have built a timeline on their own, and then they're trying to see your timeline so that it
No,
is cohesive
they
together.
have no timeline. The
But
one
I know in
planner
your situation, it's not. Yeah,
because
because you
I
told
reach
me.
out to the planners first. When couples message me and they say, "Hey, what time should I have my ceremony? What time should I have my cocktail hour?" My first question is always, "Do you have a planner?" And it's not because I don't want to help them, because for years my couples never had planners and I was the timeline creator. But I
Right.
ask because I don't want to step on anyone's toes. It's rude.
Right.
I do not want
Absolutely.
to
Yeah.
take over someone else's job. So when they say, "Yes, I have a
Yes.
planner," I'm like, "Okay, let me reach out to them and see what they have right now." That way I'm not like countering what they've already worked hard on. So I've reached out to multiple planners recently and they're all like, "Well, we were waiting on you to send yours."
That
And I'm
is
like,
so
"Okay,
strange.
cool." And then the one planner, I said, "Well, what about reception? Because I need to plan like my end exit time around like the order of events." They're like, "Well, we're waiting on the DJ to send his timeline, so we don't know." And I'm like,
No, the planner should just be making like you can see in my
Mhm.
emails when I send the because I tell everyone
Yeah.
when they book me and then we do the planning meeting, I say we love your vendors. We will not hear from them until 30 days before the wedding,
Yeah.
maybe 45 days before the wedding.
Yeah.
So here is the general timeline. It won't change again until 1 month before because I
Yep.
literally send in my email to my vendors. Hi, vendors. We're so glad that you're here. We're 1 month away from their day. Please let me know any revisions on my end so I can
Yep.
revise the master timeline. And I say
Yep.
that because every DJ, every photographer, every videographer, every vendor has their own timeline. And we're only here to just blend them together to make them one big timeline. And that's all I can attribute that to is people hiring planners low budget, not and I wouldn't call them planners,
Mhm.
hiring coordinators low
They have
budget.
coordinators. Yeah.
Yes, and
Yeah.
they are not doing their due diligence of they don't know the process yet, they're learning, they're
Right.
new, or they, aren't planner or they're not coordinators that don't come into, like, the
Yeah.
week of,
Right.
which I never understood that, like,
Mhm.
as a coordinator, and that's fine, everybody has their own thing, but I feel like you need to meet with your couple as soon as you book them, get the lay of the land, just do a basic timeline, and then if you don't wanna meet again, you can say, "Okay, we don't meet again
Yeah.
till the week of your wedding."
Mhm.
But you have to have a lay of the land for all the
I know.
vendors. You literally
I
are there to coordinate them all.
I wanna start setting up my camera and doing a live recording of when I read, like, your timelines. Because sometimes I'm like, "Hmm, looks good. Looks good," and it's like 10 minutes for family photos. Like, no. No. Also, I'd like to record whenever I'm reading my couple's questionnaire and I'm reviewing it a week before the wedding and I see wedding planning and coordinator and I'm like, "Who's that?"
Who
Like,
is
I
that? You're
haven't
like, "I
heard
don't even
from
know who
them.
this is."
I didn't know they had a
Yeah,
planner or coordinator. Sometimes I feel like such an awful person because I'm like, I didn't even know these people existed. Never heard from them.
right,
Never heard of them. And I've planned the whole thing with the couple. What if I messed everything up?
right.
Something's
No, I
happening,
wouldn't
Ashley. I don't know. At the last I'm just gonna rant. At this wedding I did a couple weeks ago, they hired like a third party. I already told you half this. Do you know who was bustling dresses and running to get cake cutting
Oh,
utensils
no.
and plates? It even said it on the planner stuff. It said planner to set plate and utensils for cake cutting. Do you want to know what was not there when the couple went to cut the cake? The plate and the
Oof,
utensils.
oof. Girl, go to the MBA conference in Vegas, go to the special event conference, take classes, learn how to be a
Ooh,
coordinator.
we need to go to a
Don't think it's
conference.
glamorous. It's not glamorous. This is hard
Ugh.
work. I just had someone inquire with me and then they were like, "Oh, I'm also trying to break into the wedding industry." And I was like, "That's awesome." Like I'm always like, "Yes, if you need
Yeah.
any help,
Yeah,
absolutely." I'm
I'll
like an
mentor
open book,
anyone.
but I'm like, "Get a mentor. Do not just start
Mhm,
doing this. Just do not. It is a lot and there is a lot of expectation." I think people forget this is one day and for
mhm.
most this is the only
Only
day
day and a lot
that
of
they'll
money.
have their entire life.
Right,
Yes. So
right.
I'm like, I don't think people register that. And I
Right.
don't know if it's that decent we talked about desensitized lately just because of all the
Yeah.
access that we have. Like we're
Everything. Yeah.
watching videos slipping through rabbit holes.
Hmm.
Like I guess that might be it. Like, we're not understanding the depth. Not we, people are understanding the depth of what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. And the
Mm.
photographers are real good at being divas. And I think that photographers a
Oh,
lot of the time
girl, did
forget
I
that.
have one.
I
Snap. I was like,
and I'm sitting
girl,
here
you
ranting and
better
raving like
sit
I'm being a
down.
diva. Please
We
know that
my
on the wedding
divas.
day, whenever I had to run and get that plate and the utensils, my reaction was not, it was on the planner's paperwork. My reaction was, oh, you don't have a plate and a fork. Hey, excuse me. Hold on
Let
one
me go
second. Let
grab
me run
one.
and get you,
Hmm.
let me go grab one for you. Hey, can anyone help? And a groomsman hand it. I'm like, here you go. Do you know what you're doing? Can I help you? All right, smiles, cut your cake. Like that is my reaction at the time. I'm thinking it. I'm not saying it. When I see that there's a
Right.
planner that I didn't even know about on the paperwork, I'm not like, who is this person and why have I done the whole timeline? I hurry up and I send an email and I'm like, hi, nice to meet you. I'm so sorry. I did not know you existed until just now. Please let me know if you have a timeline or any information I need because I don't want to mess up your schedule for the day. Here's
Right. I don't
mine.
want to mess up
Here's
all
my
the plans you
contact
had.
information.
Hmm.
Let me know if you need anything. And sometimes I meet these people and I'm like, you're amazing. You're going on my preferred vendor list. Not always.
Yes. It's
But sometimes.
so, I can't tell you how many times lately, it's been lately. Not lately. I mean, it's always happened, but more frequently. And I don't know if like something's happening in the coordinator planner world, but almost all vendors, brand new, never met them because I'm doing a lot in
Mhm.
the city now. They come up to me and they're like, "Oh, can I put you on our preferred vendor list? Like, I love you. You're the
Yeah.
only coordinator I want to
Yeah.
work with." Like, and I'm just like, "What are
Yep.
these coordinators doing out here in these
That's what I
streets? Like,
say
what's
about
happening?"
photographers. That's what I say about
And I'm
photographers.
like, I don't know what's happened.
I
Like,
don't
it truly is like we don't know what's happening because I'm like, is the level of service just gone down? And I refuse to allow my service to go
I think
down.
it's
Do you know what I
changed.
mean?
I think it's
Yeah,
changed
it
because I
definitely
know
changed.
the wedding that we were at together, the family formals were so chaotic and so out of control with no fault of us. We just
No.
kept losing people. We just kept
Yes.
losing people and like people kept leaving and I like they were like key people. And I remember at one point, like, and again, I was professional and smiley and it'll be okay and we'll figure it out. And this happens at most weddings, which is true. We're always tracking down people for family formals at weddings. This was just like
Right.
multiple people. Like as soon as we would get one person back, we were missing the next person. And I remember looking my assistant dead in the eyes and grumbling, here comes my first 1-star review. Because I felt like it was so bad in the moment
Right.
and it looked so bad on me. And then when you said like what's happening in the service industry, fast forward to the next day or two, I get a message from that couple and they're like, I just want to let you know my family was so impressed with how you ran family formals
Aw.
and they
We're
thought
hard on
everything went
ourselves.
so
Hmm.
well. And I said to her, girl, I am so glad and relieved to hear that because I thought for sure I was getting a 1-star review. She was like, "Why?"
Oh, for sure.
I
You
said,
were like,
"Because I felt like we were just standing there. I felt like we weren't doing anything and it was hot and I thought people were getting like they were miserable. Like meanwhile, I guess everyone was just like, she's keeping it together. It's falling apart and she is keeping it together."
she's rounding them up. And I was gonna say, we're always
Oh,
hard on ourselves. We're always gonna
yeah.
be the worst to ourselves just because
Yeah.
we want to be perfect and that's not
Yeah.
possible, but we are going to try as
Yeah.
close as we can to get
Yeah.
there. Like that's just who
Yeah.
we are as people, 100%. It's so
And
funny because I just had that same situation happen this past weekend. I
yeah.
had two weddings. My team was at the other one, and I'm getting frantic calls. And I had an Indian hybrid wedding this past weekend. Ah, it was so beautiful. It was perfect. And my other wedding that I'd planned, because I plan them and then I have coordinators that come in. So I'm a part of everyone's day. Like I refuse to not be a part of every one of my couple's day in some fashion. And I'm getting frantic calls. They had a vintage car that was taking them out of the church. And I was like so excited about this vintage car. So I'm like asking, like,
Right.
how's the vintage car going? Because the coordinator had checked in with them. Everything was good to go. She's like, "Ashley, he disappeared." And I was like, "What do you mean he disappeared?" She was like, "Well, he was here and then now he's gone." And I was like, "What?" So it was a family friend. My
Oh,
I would say
yeah.
almost all couples are very intense about not giving family friend information out, and I get it because they don't
Right.
want the family friend is very adamant, like, "I don't wanna talk to a coordinator, I don't wanna talk to a planner,
Right.
I am just
Fair.
doing this as a family favor for you." So, I
Right.
didn't have contact information because they didn't want me to
Oh,
have it,
boy.
and so that always makes me super nervous. Even the coordinator had asked that day, "Hey, can we get a contact number for you just in case we need one?" And
Right.
he was like, "No, we're good, I'm gonna be there." And I was like, "Ugh."
Whew, until he was not.
Until he was not. So this is actually
Where did he
funny because this
go?
is exactly. So, I'm on the phone with the coordinator and I'm like, "It's 5 minutes till ceremony's over," because they're a Catholic mass. And I'm like
Yeah.
I'm like, my wedding is already off to pictures, so I'm setting their menus on their tables, I'm doing those things, so
Yeah.
I'm able to talk to her. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh," I had never gotten hot flashes. I'm like, "Oh my god, this is the first time I get, like, a one-star review. I can't breathe." Like, and I know this isn't my fault. This is
Yeah.
like a vendor issue. And I even have in my contract, like, I am not responsible for your vendors
Yeah.
showing up. I could do my best for them to be there. But if they don't
Right.
show up, it's no fault of me. But still, it doesn't matter. And so I'm like, I can't breathe. My face is flushed. I'm like, this is terrible. I'm having a panic attack. And she's like, "Ashley, the ceremony's ending." And I was like, and she's like, "And he's not here." And I was like, "Oh my gosh." So, and I have no control. So I'm like, I'm dying inside. And it was
But you're
fine. The
calm on the
photographer took
outside.
and I wasn't there, thank goodness, because I don't know if I could have been
Right.
calm at
But
that
you're at the
moment.
other
Because I was
wedding, so
like
you still have to keep it together.
I'm like, "I gotta keep this together, we're fine, everything's great." So I start calling because I had 2 coordinators there that day. I'm talking to one while the other one is with the couple, with the photographer. Everybody's outside with ribbons because they were gonna go through a ribbon exit into the vintage car. We grab mom naturally because mom's family friend.
Mhm. Ah, get on the
Mom
phone.
said Mom said, "Oh, I told him not to come back till 2:45, and it ended at 2:30." And I was like, after we had talked to him. So she was like, "Oh no, don't come back till 2:45." And then she's like, "I'm so sorry. I think
Why?
that's my." She's so sweet though. Like we love her. Like we love her. But I was like, I'm like, disaster strikes. Well, that's when miscommunication happens in families. Like,
Yeah.
and it was fine. It all worked out. They were able to get some
Yeah.
like shots in the church. The guests were more than happy to
Yeah.
stand out there for 15 minutes and just hang out and talk. It was a beautiful day. So it all worked out. But woo, that was the day. And like literally the couple was like so happy. They kept thanking us over and over again. They had the best day. But like for us, I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is the end." Like I like it
The
was
end of
just
my
so
career.
this is it. Cause I was like, the vintage
Put me
car's
out of
not
my
here.
misery.
Like we're so dramatic. Like, get over it, ladies.
We
And it
are.
was
The
perfect.
amount of
It
times I say on wedding days, "I'm getting a one-star review today." It's like
see,
dumb
I don't
stuff.
ever until that day. I don't ever do it
Oh, yeah.
because, you know.
I don't know. I don't know. But speaking of
Anyway,
changing,
so
yeah, go ahead. Did you
no,
have
I'm
something
good.
to you
I
want me to
said, and no, keep
huh?
going.
Okay. We said changing
Ah,
the times, huh? That's where I'm at this year. We're always so sassy this time of year. Um,
we are.
Things are changing. I have said it before and I'm going to say it again. The unplugged weddings are dead. They're gone. Don't even put the signs up. No one's going to listen.
No one's unplugging. Everyone's
No,
plugged.
it's fine. We're used to it now. Also, I feel like, I love when we're ahead of the game. I don't care if Uncle Ted and Aunt Peg stand beside me and take pictures. I don't care if your uncle shows up with a professional camera that's more expensive than mine. I don't care. I'm
Right.
not intimidated by that. It does not bother me. I actually invite them and encourage them to stand right beside me. That way everyone's looking at
Yes.
me the whole time because if you're clear over on the right, try because they're always a lot of them are like, "No, no, no, I'm going to stand way over there." And I'm like, "Well, the problem is that people are going to be looking at you instead of looking at me. So I'd rather you just stand beside me." And for years people were
Yes.
like, they would make awful TikToks and reels and stuff about like when your grandpa thinks that he's the professional after you hired me. And that used to make me so mad.
Yeah,
And
don't do that.
now
That's their family too. Yeah.
now I'm seeing nice ones that are like, "Oh, Uncle Bob has a camera." And it's like, "They're welcome to take pictures with me at your wedding." And I'm like, funny how things have changed. Things have shifted. And I'm glad for
Things
it because
have
it's a more
shifted. And I'm
positive
glad for it
result.
too. Yes.
But I've
Yes.
always welcomed Uncle Bob to stand beside me because he deserves to have his
Yeah.
pictures too. He's just excited.
He's just excited. He wants to be a part
Yeah.
of it.
I
I
mean,
feel you. I feel you
the only time I'm gonna say something, and I actually had this happen last weekend. He came up to my car because we were a little early at the ceremony. So we were in the car and he knocked on my window. My assistant was like, I think he wants you. So I rolled my window down and he showed me his camera. He's like, I'm going to be taking pictures during the ceremony. And I'm like, that's fine. Like, you're not going to bother me at all. And,
Yeah, for sure.
I said, you can like stand right beside me if you want. He was like, oh, no, I'm going to stay out of your way. I said, that's fine. I said, honestly, the only time that I'm going to tell you that you're a problem is if you decide to stand right at the front of the aisle in the middle. That's the only time that I'm going to have a
Don't do
problem.
that. Don't do
And
that,
there's
Uncle
only
Bob.
yeah, no
Yeah.
one's gonna do that. That's the only time that I would do a tappity tap tap. Hello. Hi, Uncle Bob.
The
Oh,
only
I
time I've
need
ever
you.
had to is when somebody was like literally in the
Yeah.
aisle and like a photographer was going to run right, like take their head off,
Oh, I'll
honestly. And
throw
I
a
was like,
professional elbow.
yeah,
Yeah. In the
not.
moment, I'll walk up and just throw my elbows up like this and be like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were there. I knew they were there.
I love your notes.
What?
Photographers are moving away from shaming Uncle Ted.
Listen, listen.
Photographers are moving away from shaming the old Uncle Ted.
If you look at our script, we have Ashley's thoughts blank.
0.
You want to know who's carrying this podcast return? The one,
It's her.
the one who was ill and out for months.
Literally,
Is
it's her.
back.
She's doing it. She's
No,
doing it.
no, I'm just giving you a hard time because I love this podcast and I enjoy it and it
You
brings
do.
me a lot of
And I
joy.
do
And I'm
too. I do too.
constantly texting Ashley, like, do the podcast with me. Come do the podcast with me. But also, just kidding. I have the script up as I'm editing photos. It's easier for me to come up with ideas because I'm constantly after the weddings looking at stuff. Where you're moving
She's on her
on for the
computer a
most
lot more
part.
than me.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're moving on to the
Yes.
next wedding. I'm literally reliving and looking at these weddings. And so I think of these things and I immediately hop over to the script and I just type it in. So like every day I'm adding a new line or two so that we have stuff to talk about. And
I'm
yes,
working off vibes. Can you imagine if
it's
I was the one running it? We would be doing the podcast at midnight. My office hours are now 10 p.m. till 1:30 a.m. That's the
I would
office hours.
die. Y'all know how I feel about 10 after 10 p.m. It's not.
That's Ashley's office hours.
I like to have a beverage at night. Can you imagine why
Same.
do I not drink I don't ever drink publicly and I don't drink before 7:30 at night because number 1, my personality needs no encouragement. None. 0. Can you imagine if
0.
we podcasted? And then I'd be asleep because it makes me tired.
We should do a nighttime podcast one
No.
time just for fun.
With cocktails?
Yes. Just one. Nothing can happen bad with one. Just sleepy.
We could just never
Just
post it.
sleepy. We'll just never post it. We're posting it. Ashley and Hannah take tequila shots. Oh my gosh. Never making it.
That's not on the script.
No, I
Saying.
could never. I could never. I would die. No, but I agree with you. I definitely think it is transitioning and changing that we're welcoming family to be a part of days
Yes.
and friends to be a part of the day, not to shame them into being like, "Oh, you're in the way. Please don't do this." The other thing I'm noticing is that my couples, and I'm sure you're noticing this too, are very gracious in that sense. They're like, "No, I want my guests to get what they want to get. They're a part of this day too." And
Yep.
even like having the officiant make an announcement,
Don't do that. I hate
please pull
that.
out your phones. I know, yeah, but I know it takes time. But they do sometimes say, please pull out your phones, grab a shot, do your
Oh,
thing,
yeah, I
and
love
then
that. I
enjoy it.
do love that.
Yes.
What I don't love is
Yes.
whenever they say, "Please put your phones away because the couple has hired a professional photographer to take these photos." I feel like that reflects so badly on me. Like it was me that was
Right.
saying it,
Like it was
and people are
you.
like,
Yeah.
"Ugh, like she doesn't even want anyone taking pictures because she thinks her photos are better than ours." I cringe when they say that. Don't let them say that at my weddings. I
No,
don't like
I
that.
won't. I won't. No, I usually just if they're about people taking a few of their own. I think that's
Yeah.
a good moment to do it.
I like that. Oh, so that's a new trend that I've seen pop up, where the officiants are like, pause, this is your opportunity, couple smile, take
Mhm.
pictures. Like, I do love that. Another trend that I have seen pop up 2 weddings in a row, and I'm like, whoa, 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 what's happening? And the DJ shut it down. I do not like this trend and tell me if you've had it happen at your weddings. It's gotta be on TikTok or it's gotta be viral somewhere, where the couple goes to each table, talks to them, and excuses them to the buffet line.
So this is a new trend. Yes, because I actually had
Oh,
my
it's
couple
so
from the
bad.
it's so bad. And
It's
I tell
so
everyone
bad.
this. So imagine putting your party time off for like a whole hour because that's what it'll be. And your guests
More
are
at the
wanting to
wedding
eat
I was
dinner.
at.
Oh, yeah, it takes forever because I know when you said you cut your cake, I had a feeling that they did that because I was like, I just stopped my
Yeah.
couple from doing it. TikTok, love you, but you're not
No.
planners out there in the TikTok world, you're throwing it off. It's not happening.
So,
But
ex
I told them no
explain to people what
because
happens. Yeah.
it's natural. It's just like when my couples are greeting tables and I look at them, I'm like, hey, are you ready to do specialty dances? And they're
Mhm.
like, oh, I've only gotten to half of the room. Boom. Do you see that? That took
Mhm.
45 minutes just for
Mhm.
you to do half of the room and you weren't even excusing them to
Mhm.
the buffet. So it's
Mhm.
going to push your party time. So say the
Yeah.
average timeline is 5 to 6 cocktail hour, 6:20 to 6:30 dinner, 7:15 to 8 o'clock party time starts, and most receptions are off by 10 or 11.
Mhm.
Most are 10. So that only gives you 2.5 hours to
Mhm.
actually have party time, which is actually great for a wedding. Anything over 3 hours is going to be too much. I know a lot of people think no, but yes, it really is.
No,
3 hours
nothing
is
good
max. Even
happens
my
after yeah.
yeah, I was like, 3 hours is great for dancing. So if you think about that, you're done eating first. So you start greeting tables at 7. You only get half of the room done in 45 minutes and you
Mhm.
haven't done and you're not doing the buffet thing. Just
Yeah.
think about what you're doing.
Mhm.
Some of your guests won't eat until 8 o'clock at night.
Which is what happened at my wedding. We were still so what happened at my wedding, and I don't know how it happened actually, and there was a planner there.
I know you told me, but that I don't feel like feel like she was a family friend.
No, she was from one of those third party companies. She was from Florida.
Oh, wait, you did tell me this. Third party
Yeah.
companies, they're killing us.
She picked up the wedding like last minute. Anyhow, people were eating at 9 o'clock, which was fine because for this wedding in this culture, they run on a later timeline. But in hindsight, they released tables too quickly, and catering could not keep up.
Oh no,
So
terrible.
the line was like wrapped around the longest catering line I've ever seen because they did
Wow.
release them quickly, but it wasn't a controlled pace. So catering could not keep up because they have to what's it called when they change out
Yeah, change up the pans. Mm-hmm.
the pans? They change out the pans of food. They couldn't keep
Mm-hmm.
up. And I felt really bad and people were really hungry and it was just and that was the first wedding it had occurred and I thought it was a cultural thing. Because, she
Yeah.
had told me, like, that they run late for things and that's normal. Because like, we had joked that I never run late. She's like, "You're gonna have to run late at my wedding." And I'm like, "No." And she's like, "No, we just naturally run late. That's our culture." And I'm like, "Okay, well, as long as I know that that's okay with you, that's fine." So when the reception ran differently and it ran later, I just thought it was a culture thing. And looking back, the tables got released too fast. So then the
Yes.
next wedding, I was talking to the DJ and he's like, "Hey, did you hear we nixed the table thing? We're gonna table race." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "They wanted to release their own tables to go through the buffet line." And I'm like, "Oh, no, because this just happened to me."
TikTok.
He goes, "Yeah." I told him the same
Mm,
thing. I said, "There's no way that you're going to know what pace to release these tables. And catering is going to get so backed up that it's going to drag your dinner hour out, which is not. It's not good for
yes.
your like reception." So he talked him out of it and then we table raced. And the table racing went really well. It's been a while
Yes.
since I've had a table race that went well because
Same
a lot of
table
these
racing
couples,
is, yeah.
again, TikTok, and you've seen it, unless you're willing to run, literally, that's in race, run, you can't table race. And you also cannot expect everyone to be at your table. It's a race. If they're and the DJ prepares them. If the DJ prepares them and tells everyone to sit down because this is what we're going to do, and you get like a couple of minutes to prepare, if you're not there, then you're not in the photo. And I've
Yes.
had, like, aunts and stuff and literally in the middle of it, they're like, "No, stop, you can't take this picture, my husband's not here." And I'm like, "We cannot stop.
Mhm.
I'll catch you
We
later."
cannot it's a table race. It is a
It's a race.
table race.
Race.
Yes, that trend needs to go as quickly as it's coming,
Yes, I'm so tired of
because
running.
it's
Been
well,
running for
not the
4
table
years.
race, the
Oh,
buffet, the buffet. I'm like, "No, it's never a good idea. Never a good idea. Just it will
no.
completely slow down your whole night."
Now I did
And
have a
here's the
couple that
thing.
served dessert.
Oh,
Did
yeah,
they
we
serve
had that.
dessert
We
to the
read
couple?
together. I've
No,
done
we
that.
were
W
not at
wait,
this wedding. I was way out in
okay,
Ohio. No, what did you
okay,
say? You were
but
gonna
we
say
have
something.
no, I was gonna say it can happen 2 ways. The problem is guests are hungry, so they're like, "Oh, yeah, so glad to see
Mhm.
you. Hug, hug, hug. I'm running to the buffet now."
Right.
And that's what happened to you.
Yeah.
Because they're like, "Oh, I'm trying to get to that food."
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
some
feel like
tables
it's
got
just
up and got
never
their own food. They didn't wait.
Mhm. Yep, because they were hungry. They were like, "I'm done waiting." So, no, I have had just one oh, we weren't together, I knew who I was with. One piece of cake to every table just so they could position themselves that they weren't there for a long time, but enough to be like, "Hi,
Okay.
thank you so much for being here. I'm so glad that you're here.
Yeah.
Picture, move on."
Yeah.
And that only took, like, maybe 20 minutes. It was perfect.
Yeah.
I always tell everyone this, if I can tell you anything about greeting your guests, it's very simple, and it doesn't need to be a trend. It just needs to be because this is how
Yeah.
you thank your guests and you see your guest. You hope your elderly tables first because
Mhm.
they are for sure leaving right after dinner.
Mhm.
You hit your mid-aged tables next,
Mhm.
and your young tables, you meet them out on the dance floor because they are
Mhm.
up and moving anyway. So when you get to by the time you even get
Yeah.
to their table, they're already gone.
And we're not
So
offended
you
if you don't come see
no,
us.
no,
Yeah.
we're gonna be out there with on the dance floor with you all night long.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a billion pictures with your
Yeah.
younger crowd out on the dance floor, but you will not have pictures with your
Yeah.
older crowd and your middle-aged crowd that are leaving right after dinner. So hit those tables first. I tell everyone that in my final meeting. Look at your layout.
Yeah.
Now go to your table numbers.
Yeah.
Now pinpoint for me where you're gonna hit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
family tables, you don't need to hit them because they're gonna be with you all night too. And you've been with
Right.
them all day. You've been getting pictures
Right.
with your family all day. So you heard it here first. Let's make that a trend.
I saw 2 things that I thought were good ideas when it comes to releasing tables. I don't know how you, the planner, would I was like, "Seems like a good idea to me." But one couple had on their invitation, the first person to RSVP, their table gets to go first at the buffet.
Oh, I love that. We're here
So
for
then
it.
at the DJ was like,
Yes.
"All right, here we go. The first person to RSVP is the first person that gets to eat, and it's gonna be," and like make it real dramatic, and then that table like gets to go first.
I love it.
I
That's
thought that
amazing.
was cute. I also thought I saw someone who like they did like the thing where you write on the hearts and you put them in your guest book or something. Then the couple draws one,
Mhm.
and whoever's that is gets to go first. Then I
Love that.
saw, and this was for like a Midwest wedding, their family are auctioneers. Like, that's what they do for a living.
Oh, I love it.
And
That's
so they,
amazing.
instead of having, like, a honeymoon fund or anything like that, they auctioneered, like, the table that had the highest bid got to go first. So they were, like, picking up their table numbers
Stop.
to, like,
Yes.
bid,
They're
and
like,
he I
me.
yeah, like,
I
I
want the
can't do the
rigatoni.
auction voice, but, like, he was standing up there, the dad, like, actually doing the auctioneer voice or whatever you call it, and he was like yeah, yeah, exactly, and he was like, "Table 2, table 3, table 4, ta," and they were, like, literally and then that table and
Dead.
he's like, "I got $50 or whatever," so then, like, they put their money together and they gave that to the couple as, like, their honeymoon fund, and then they got to go to the
Oh,
buffet
I love
first.
that.
I'm like, "I love
So
that."
cute.
Like, if you have the
So
right
cute.
couple, I love that. Did you have a wedding the weekend the Powerball was, like, 2 billion or whatever, 1 bill I
What
don't know,
weekend
whatever it
was
was.
that? Probably.
I
I've been
I don't
going
know because we
nonstop,
have the
so
one DJ friend. I keep meaning to ask him. He at one wedding I did a couple years ago, like, the Powerball was really, really big, and he was like, "Who wants to throw in for tickets?" And, like, a whole bunch of people threw in for tickets, and then they sent someone to go buy a whole bunch of tickets. I don't
that's
think they won any
hilarious.
money, but the agreement was that they would if they won big, they were gonna split it with everyone at the that came to the wedding, and no
That is
one who didn't
hilarious.
RSVP got to be in on it. That was fun. If your
Oh my
place
gosh,
card
I
was there
love
and you
it.
didn't come, you don't get a cut.
That's amazing. I love it. Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
I know, Mike I had a couple just a couple weekends ago who were like she grabbed her husband and was like, "Can you believe it? They're here and they didn't RSVP." And I was like, "I wish I could say that it doesn't happen, but it happens
it
every
happens.
wedding." There's
Mhm.
always one, at
Yep,
least
yep.
one that you're
Or
gonna
people
see.
who had to RSVP at the last minute, then don't even come.
Don't even come because the meal or no, what's worse is the people canceling week of, and I have so many parents that are like, "If they do that," and I'm like, "I'm so sorry to tell you that there will be 2 to
Yeah,
5 that don't show up that you've paid for, at least 2 to 5.
yeah,
Hopefully not more than that." You know what's really trendy right now is these cocktail hour games. Like everybody is here for it. Like I have a couple that's like, can we do like pong, like a beer pong
Mhm.
wedding table, but do it with like the plastic champagne coupes? And like it's a
Mm,
cute table with like their name on it. And I'm like, you can do it
that's
with
fine.
water. Like venues will let you do it with water, but not like actual alcohol. You can have drinks in your hand, but you can't use the actual alcohol for the also like crossword puzzles. That's really big right now.
Hmm.
Like a sweetheart sweepstakes and they either get to go through the buffet, whoever wins gets the buffet first, or I had somebody do a gift card, super cute.
Hmm.
Like these little
Yeah.
fun ideas, like I'm here for it.
I'm
And it
excited. I'm
happens around
excited for
cocktail
next year
hour.
too. We're gonna have lots of new fun things. You watch.
Oh yeah, there's going to be so much. I feel like everyone is more like it's so funny. I'm noticing my couples are just like fatigued by the whole process of like venue,
Mhm.
vendors, timeline. But as far as like the details, they're so
They
excited for
love
that.
that.
They could
Yeah.
look at that all day long. And I'm like, well, that's when you need a planner because the planner can deal with all that. It's business, really,
Mhm.
all that business side of it. And you just get to enjoy the fun things, like what you're going to do during cocktail hour. And, all the fun little like my couple this past weekend, she had every detail and I loved it because I was like, she was able to focus on those things.
Right.
She was able to like get the little drink stirs and get the cocktail napkins. It was so
I
cute. Her
love those
cocktail
drink
napkin.
stirs. They say Mr. and
I
Mrs. in their
know.
last name. So cute.
Yeah, and they were high school sweethearts. So there was a little flag
Oh.
on it that was like high school sweethearts.
Oh.
And then I know you're gonna like I have to show you the napkin that their cocktail napkin. He actually wrote on a napkin, "Will you marry me?" Hannah, like her full name.
Um,
And that was their cocktail napkins.
I love weddings so much. I don't
Look
think
at
I'll ever
this.
get
We're
sick
just
of
little
them.
saps. I know. It was so cute. I'm here for it. Anyways, I'm here for it.
Anyways. All right, we have a listener question before we cut out. And this
Yes.
has been coming in for me too, so I'm kind of floating the listener question over to you because people ask me this all the time. How
Okay.
far in advance do hair and makeup realistically need to know start times?
Not till like literally the week of.
Okay, because I have one reaching out to me like 4 months in advance, and I'm like, I can't tell you that.
And sometimes they do. So I always say if you
Okay.
have a team, like there's a couple companies that have teams
Yeah.
already and they don't need to know till week of. If you have
Okay.
someone that's by themselves that's requiring other to bring other people with them, it's usually before. It's usually 6 months before that they need to know like an
Wow.
average
Okay.
start time, estimated start time.
Right.
So 6 months before if they're like a standalone and they have to hire
Okay.
other people to come with them. Week of if it's I always make them like I always reach out to the vendors at that 1 month and say, "Hey, this is when the start time is. Please look at it." But lately, hair and makeup has been on Ashley's the old
Okay.
list, like
It's a
like
new it
everybody.
that's why.
Someone's staring at you.
Felt
Is
like
someone
my
in your
door was
shop?
gonna open. No, I don't think so. It
Oh
sounded like it. I
gosh,
don't know.
you're
Probably
freaking me
ghosts.
out. The ghost of
Um,
John. Um,
right. The government is shut down. My husband is not employed right now. It's been a year, people.
it's been a year. Let's say
Oh, I got
goodbye.
summoned for jury duty.
Oh no, that's the
As if a
worst.
deployment and breast cancer and government shutdown was not enough, I got jury
They're like,
duty.
"Guess what, sweetie? You're getting jury duty."
This year hates me. Like,
Like 2025, see ya. Like, bye.
this year,
Bye, girl. You were
I
nasty.
can't. So if I have to miss the podcast, it's probably because I'm on jury duty. They don't want me on jury duty. Does anyone
No,
have
they
any
don't. You're like,
opinions
order in the
about that?
court. I'm just kidding. Wait, what was the
Gotta go.
question? Oh, so anyways, I had a hair and makeup this past weekend, and I will call them out because I also partner with them.
No, no names.
They sent me the audacity. They sent me at Friday at 10 p.m. when they would be arriving. And you know what I wrote back? Because those are my office hours. You will be arriving at the time that was listed on the timeline since a month ago. And that's when you'll be arriving. And I never tell a vendor what to do ever, but I was like, no,
The
not the
night
night
before
before.
the wedding. Mm.
Uh, yeah, I'm speechless. Speech, words, gone.
Uh-huh.
Don't do it.
Funny you say that when you say hair. These planners. Same thing happened to me, and I know you don't know this one. So, well, you know some of it. Could not get an answer. Could not get an answer
Yeah,
about
I remember.
timeline
Yes.
from the
Oh, it was the
planner.
night before. I remember.
This is what you don't know, though.
Oh no.
So, I had been on this planner all week. Like, I just need a timeline because she did have a timeline and she was dictating the day and I needed to know. So, I finally met with a couple and I was like, we're just going to talk about photography stuff. You're doing a first look. We'll do that according to the time the planner has. We're going to do bridal party immediately afterwards. Then we'll go to the ceremony. All we'll have left is family. Since we were traveling, I was like, there's no point in trying to do family at the getting ready location because not everyone is there. Everyone will be at the ceremony. We will do it afterwards. Cool. Night before the wedding, I get an email from the planner. And on
Oh
that
no.
timeline says, family to arrive at getting ready location for family portraits prior to the ceremony. And I'm like, no,
No.
no. So I heard, and then I'm looking through it. And then she says at the church, family formals afterward, immediate family goes first, 20-minute break for aunts and uncles, then come back. And I'm like,
No.
no, we'll never get them back. You never do
No.
the biggest groups last. They need to go to cocktail hour. So I
You don't
texted
know
the
what you're
couple and again,
doing.
professionally said, hey, got the timeline from the planner. Just want to make sure we're all on the same page. Don't have family come to the getting ready location. They're going to go afterwards.
Yes.
Cool. So imagine my surprise when I turned the corner and mom and dad of the groom are standing there going, when are we doing photos? Kind of like mad, rightfully so, because they had been waiting
Rightfully
on
so.
me
Yeah.
and I
Mm-hmm.
didn't even know they were there. And again, professionally, I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And I kind of beep, beep, threw the planner under the bus a little bit. I said, I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. There must have been a miscommunication because you were never supposed to be here for photos. And you could just see, and this is the first meeting with the parents. This is the first time that I've met these people. So it's not a good first meeting. And I can tell dad's face all of a sudden. He goes, are you serious? Because I need to be over at the reception hall setting stuff up right now. And I'm like, I am so sorry. I said, it was never the plan to have family formals here because you were going to have to travel. And I'm sure you had other stuff to do. I don't know
Correct.
why the planner put that on there. That was never the plan. And I didn't find out about it until just last night. And I immediately texted the couple, but they were probably
And
too
said this isn't
busy and
happening.
didn't even see it to let you know. He was like, so we're not getting any pictures here. I said, well, you're here,
No.
so we may as well now. I said, but I'll
Yes.
do them very quickly so that you can get going. And I'm really sorry. This was never the plan. And so I took it and they were
Right.
really nice about it. And they it could have they had every right to be very angry. And they were
Oh
not.
yeah.
They were just like, all right, let's do
Yeah.
some photos. So I got pinning boutonnieres, hugs, kisses, all that kind of stuff. And I was like, okay, I will see you later. And then we did all the family formals after, which went really well. But still, I'm like, why are you
So
changing?
annoying.
Why are you doing that?
Yes.
Don't do that.
Why? Nobody changed
Don't
anything
do
the
that.
night before the wedding. Don't
Now,
message the couple. Don't change anything. Don't do that. Or I'll
if
come
this
for
was
you.
April or May, we'd be like, it's fine. We can
Would it?
handle it. In October, I'm like, don't you dare.
I will find
Don't.
you. I will
Hunt
find
you
you.
down. All right, we got to wrap this up. Are we ready? Anything else to
We're
add?
ready.
All right. Well,
No, that
thanks
was
everyone
beautiful.
for listening to another episode of What in the Wedding. You can find us currently on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Music. It's hopefully YouTube soon.
YouTube. Woo! Okay, so
Yeah.
please remember to follow and subscribe. Leave us all those stars so we start showing up as a recommended podcast and suggestion for our new listeners. If you have topic suggestions, questions, news stories, anything you just want to talk about, not going through the buffet line. Not going through the buffet line with guests. Anything you want to talk about other than that, you can reach out to us to Instagram or email us at whatinthewedding@gmail.com.
Bye,
Love y'all.
everyone.
Bye.